couple months back, I reviewed Masters of the Universe Masterverse Wave 9, which ended up being one of my favorite, if not my absolute favorite waves that we have gotten from Masterverse so far. And now, I have the pleasure of bringing you Masterverse Wave 10. That's right, we got New Eternia Webstor, Revelation Prince Adam, Revelation Clamchamp, and Revelation Horde Skeletor. So, the subject of today's Deceptibot 9 reviews, those four figures, are they going to be as good as Wave 9? I don't know. Let's go ahead and find out. How's it going, everyone? Deceptibot 9 here, and thank you, as always, for coming to another episode of Deceptibot 9 Reviews. Before we go ahead and take a look at the figures, I would like to ask if you like what you see. Go ahead, hit that like button. Plus, if you aren't already subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button too, as well. It would really, truly mean a lot to me. Plus, if you want to find me anywhere else on the internet, all of my social links are in the description down below. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, share this video, all that fun algorithm-y stuff. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead, head down to the review station and take a look at this brand new wave of Masterverse figures. Alright, and before we actually look at the figures themselves, I do just want to show off the packaging really quick so we can see the art and the bios for all of these characters. And plus, I think this is going to be the last wave of Masterverse that's going to have this style of boxes, because we saw at San Diego Comic-Con there's going to be a whole new packaging style, which I think looks tremendous, and I can't wait to get my hands on those new figures, partially because that packaging is so rad. But we'll go ahead here. You can see we've got New Eternia Webstor, Revelations Prince Adam, Revelations Clamchamp, and Revelations Horde Skeletor. So it is kind of a Revelations heavy wave, but I honestly don't mind because I love the Revelations TV show, and it produced some pretty awesome figures. So we'll start here with Skeletor. You can see on the front just Revelation, Skeletor, that's where he sits in the thing, you know, Netflix logo up there, Masterverse right there. On this side, Skeletor, Evil Lord of Destruction, of course. And on the back, we get this beautiful looking artwork that I absolutely love of Skeletor, and you can see his bio here. So this is his Hordak days, when he is with Hordak as his apprentice. So that's really cool if you want to read that there. We'll get Skeletor's box out of the way. We'll go one by one with these here. Next we'll go Clamchamp here, and again, same thing. It's got the Revelation logo, there's the Mattel logo, Netflix, Masterverse on the top, blah blah blah. Clamchamp, Heroic Master of Capture on the back, and here is his nice artwork here with some skeleton warriors going on, and Fisto right there, which look great. I know we're getting Origins versions of these soon, but I would love some Masterverse versions. Those things would be really, really neat. And here is the Clamchamp bio for you to read that. And of course here, Prince Adam over to the front. That's all the same with the Revelations, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. Prince Adam, Heroic Secret Identity of He-Man. And of course, look at that artwork. That one is beautiful. I love this artwork, and I can't wait for that art book that's coming out near the end of the year, or maybe early next year. All the Origins and Masterverse art book. I am definitely getting that. But here is the bio for Prince Adam. If you've seen the show, you know what's up with that. And last but certainly not least, here is Webstor on the front. We get New Eternia logo. He's our only New Eternia figure in this wave. There's Webstor over on the side, Evil Master of Escape, and beautiful, beautiful packaging art on the back. Of course, we love to see the the web coming out of the back, and I love this. Although I do wish, one thing that the art shows that the figure doesn't have is he has two open clawed hands. I wish that were the case on the figure, but unfortunately it's not. And because he's New Eternia, here is his bio, so you can see how he fell into the New Eternia world. So, alright, and here is a quick overview of all four of the figures in Wave 10 with all of the accessories that they come with. You can see Prince Adam comes with the most, which is great, and you just get a quick overview here of how they all look. They're all really solid figures, as per usual with Masterverse lately. They all have been really great, but there are a few highlights that we will talk about when we get there. So let's go ahead and look at the details on these figures and everything. We're going to go ahead, we'll do the figures one by one just for ease. So we're going to go ahead and start with Clamchamp. Alright, coming up, looking at the details here on Clamp Champ, you can see nice head sculpt, looks very, very good, pretty reminiscent of how he appeared in the Revelations show. You can see, of course, he's got the eyebrows painted on there, and the eyes painted in with pupils and everything, all the molded in on the nose and the lips and the folds. He looks very angry and grumpy, which looks great, and you can see the hair detail going on there. Moving down to the chest, we got this armor that I don't think it's identical to Fisto's, but it looks very, very similar to Fisto's armor here, but done up in blue, a dark blue here for the back, a light blue here for the stripes on the front, and the silver piece up here with the sort of bubbly bolt pieces going on there. Over to the arms, both the arms are the same. They're, of course, the sort of traditional Masterverse sculpting, so it's got all the muscles in them, which look great, and I love those. And he's got the wrist gauntlet down here done up in silver with the bolts around the side. Underneath the armor is, of course, just the regular Revelations body sculpt. You can see his belly button and his abs sticking out there, but it is sculpted underneath there. Here onto the belt, it's done up in the silver with the big circle spots, as usual, with a red loincloth. And lately, these loincloths have felt much more flexible, which is very, very nice. I don't know if they're using a different material than they used to, but I like to see that because it helps really with articulation and everything a lot. Moving down to the legs, you can see they are sculpted all muscly and everything. You can see the muscle texture and detail there. And the knees, nothing really crazy going on there. Not a lot to talk about with those. Moving down to the boots, he's got nice painted red fur here on the top. I really like the way that looks. Plus, couple different colors on the actual boot. The wraps are done up in all black, and the rest of the boot is done up in a lighter gray. And of course, show this off really quick. His big old clamp, which looks great, looks fantastic, nice and big. I love the way this thing looks, done up all in a nice silver. You can see all the sort of mechanical details kind of happening everywhere around here, which look great. We get nice blue sort of pipe details happening on this, which look great as well, and some vents here on the front. The actual clamp pieces here, done up in red, look very, very nice, molded in red, I should say, rather. And on the bottom, we get a little bit more sort of technology detail happening there with like a big old thruster piece to go around his arm in the back. And we'll talk more about the cannon when we get, or the clamp, when we get to accessories. But for details, yeah, I mean, that's going to be about it for Clamp Champ. Nothing super crazy or new going on with Clamp Champ besides the actual big clamp. He's just on a standard body with a lot of reused pieces, and of course a new head sculpt. But he does look great, and I can't wait to get him in with the rest of the Revelations guys. So speaking of the big clamp, let's go ahead and talk Clamp Champ accessories. So before we get to the actual clamp, he does come with an alternate set of hands. One is a closed fist for the side that the clamp is, obviously, and the other is for this side with an open fist. Now, something that's interesting about these fists is the peg system, at least on Clamp Champ and Webstor. The peg system is different. Here is a Vicron hand. This is how the normal Masterverse pegs used to be to swap their hands, and it is how that is on Adam and Horde Skeletor, but Webstor and Clamp Champ got an upgraded peg system, which is interesting. So it definitely takes a little more force to pull the hands out of there, but they also will not be, falling out as easy, which we might see when we get to Skeletor. So it does take a little bit more effort just because they're longer, thicker pegs, but it holds them in a lot better, and they're a much tighter connection, which is really, really nice to see on that. And of course, we have to talk about the actual clamp itself, the big accessory that he comes with. So the actual grippers, the clamp pieces here, are on springs, so you can pull them out and then let them snap in, which is really cool. I do wish there was a way to hold them open for display purposes, but either way, you can get him gripping lots of other characters. They fit Origins in there, you can fit Masterverse in there, everything like that. And you don't have to stick with it on, you can pull it off. It's just on some sort of friction pegs down here, and you can see just got a peg in the middle so he can hold it with that fist, and it just comes right off, and you are left with two pieces of the clamp, and you can just either close that back up and have him store it off to the side, hold it any which way he would like, or as you saw, he does have the alternate hand for the other side that will fit on the peg. So if you wanted the clamp to go on the other side, you could also just do that as well. But yeah, I think the clamp piece came out pretty solid. I like how nice and big it is, and it is a little clunky. It does get in the way of articulation and whatnot on the arm that it's on sometimes, but I think regardless, he looks great with that clamp on, so of course, it's got to stay on. I mean, it's his thing. All right, now it's time to talk Clamp Champ articulation. And for the most part, articulation on all of these guys is pretty standard for Masterverse. It's all very similar, except for Adam. So for the other figures, we probably won't cover articulation. Maybe we'll touch on it really quick. But Adam's is different, so we'll definitely touch on his. But Clamp Champ, pretty standard. Head here is on the ball joint, gets it going around. You can spin it around, of course. You can, rock it side to side. Looks up that far, not really that far. Down, really decent amount there on the down. Arms go all the way around. They go out that far. They swivel here at the bicep. He's got double elbow joint, gets it bent that far. All of the wrists do swivel and hinge up and down or side to side, whichever way it is. He does have the ab crunch and roll section going on in there. It can get a little blocked just due to the actual armor piece, but it is still in there and usable. Waist itself does also swivel all the way around. Legs, they improved something on the legs on all of these figures. So they do still go forward that far, which, yeah, that's great. They go back that far as well. They go out to the side. Clamp Champ can get all the way into the splits and hold it very, very well. That's a nice 10 out of 10. But what they did is if you look here on the inside, you can see kind of that they're on a joint that allows them to go up and down. They have this added range of mobility here, which is tremendous because you can put the hips all the way up, or the legs all the way up into the hips, or if you need something to get a little deeper with a move, you can pull it down and get it like that. So, I mean, you have to pull both the legs down if you want them to be standing extra tall or extra skinny, whatever, or you can plop it down. So it is really cool that they have added in a new piece of articulation there to really help with some poses, and I love that that is a new thing that's been implemented, and I really hope it stays going forward because that is incredible to help get that movement. Now we just got to get butterfly joints on these guys, and we'll be really, really solid. For the rest of the legs, they do swivel here at the thigh. Knees are on a double bend just like that, and they do swivel here at the shin. Feet go up, down, and swivel all the way around. So let's do a couple quick comparisons here with Clamp Champ. All right, here's Clamp Champ with your standard classics figure, so you can see how he might fit in with your classics. Here he is with Revelations Fisto. You can see they're honestly basically the same figure with, slightly different big weapon on their forearm. But yeah, you can see those two there. And here's Clamp Champ next to your standard Origins figure. I do have a Origins Clamp Champ somewhere, but I have storage bins everywhere and I'm about to be in the process of moving, so don't know where he's at right now, but here's Origins. All right, that's going to be about enough for Clamp Champ, so let's go ahead and move on to our next figure. We will tackle Horde Skeletor, who at first I was like, oh, okay, it's another Revelation Skeletor. He's not going to be anything exciting or crazy, but actually ended up really, really liking Horde Skeletor. The way he came out is really, really great. Plus with the sort of new articulation and stuff going on here, I think he's a vast improvement over the original Revelations Skeletor. So let's go ahead, get up close here. You can look at that head sculpt, which I think looks absolutely terrific. I love the way this thing looks. You can see the hood molded in. You can see the texture on the actual hood itself. And the actual skull there is a little less yellow and more of a regular sort of skull color with sunken in black eyes and a nose piece. And the teeth got a little bit of black wash on them with a black void on the cheekbones. Looks very, very nice. Cape here is just black fabric material. Nothing crazy on it, but I think it looks awesome. Underneath you can see the Horde chest piece now. It's got a bunch of red color. We got the black or the red bat the black background and the shoulder pieces, which extrude out, got a little bit of silver paint on them there. The crossbone section here done up in silver with a red dot in the middle, and of course the black straps with the red outline and the silver bolts. And you can see all of the actual molded detail going on for Skeletor. It's the same as the Revelations one for the most part. He's just sort of a lighter purpley color rather than a blue color, but you can see he's got the muscle molded here, he's got the spike molds going on, and you can see this is what I was talking about with the wrists. You can see this one, you know, it's a little loose. It doesn't stay in nearly as nicely as the newly sculpted ones with the thicker pegs and everything, but small detail, but glad they changed it for the new ones because it just makes everything a little more stable. And you can see his ab section here with the belly button. Moving to the belt, we've got a Horde symbol here on the belt, which looks great, of course. And the loincloth is a more solid, well, not solid piece. It is still like a nice flexible piece, but it's just like all one straight black cloth rather than the sort of furry pelt piece that we normally see. And the legs, of course, have all of their muscle molding going on in there. We get some shin guards that are all done in black with some red trim on the spikies, and of course his little pointy toe feet, which look great. So yeah, no, Skeletor looks absolutely fantastic all around. Regular sort of Skeletor style, but done up in a little bit of a different color scheme and everything, and it really makes him pop super, super well. Really, really like the Skeletor. So let's go ahead and check out his accessories. He doesn't have many. He just comes with some alternate fists. So if you would rather have him with fists or one fist and a claw hand, you can certainly do that. So there's the fists. And he, of course, comes with his Horde version, I guess, because it's probably not the Chaos Staff, but it is, you know, the same design, so maybe it's the Horde version of the Chaos Staff, but it's done up in this really nice sort of gray silvery color on the handle, and the actual goat skull headpiece here is done up in a nice deep translucent red, and all the details and everything are still there. I think it looks really good. It is still on a swivel, just like the original Revelations one, and yes, if you want to put that in his hand, you certainly can do that. And for some reason, this is one of the only Skeletors I feel where he can actually like hold the staff very well. Otherwise, usually it's kind of like coming out or it's drooping around because it's heavier for his wrist pieces, but no, this Skeletor holds his very, very well. I love to see that out of it. So yes, that is about it for the Skeletor accessories and everything. His articulation, very, very standard for Masterverse. Nothing crazy. It's just like Clam Champs. The head's on a ball joint. This waist piece gets a little more freedom on Skeletor just because everything right here is a little more free. Arms still can go all the way around, but they're kind of blocked and everything. Arms go up. They swivel. They got double elbow. All the wrist hinges swivels around. Just normal. Waist swivel here. Legs are on the new system, so they go forward. They go back. They go out. They go down. If you wouldn't need them to go down for anything at all. Knees are on the double. He's got the swivel at the shin and the pivot up and down all around on the ankles. So yes, that is Horde Skeletor. Really, really came out really great. I really like the way he came out. So let's go ahead and do a couple quick comparisons with Horde Skeletor here. Here's Horde Skeletor with your standard classics. Of course, this one being Skeletor. Your standard Origins figure. Here is Snake Armor Skeletor. And since we don't have a Revolution Hordak quite yet, although I hope we get one soon after seeing that design at San Diego Comic-Con, here he is with Princess of Power Hordak. Alright, I think that'll about do it for the Skeletor, the Horde Skeletor from Masterverse. So let's go ahead and get him out of here and look at our sole new Eternia entrant into this wave, this being Webstor, who I do think looks great and fabulous. So let's go ahead, check out his details here. Let's come up on the head sculpt, which I think is terrific. This head sculpt looks absolutely fantastic. It's done up all in the dark blue with the molded little spiky bits here at the top, the molded spiky ears, the eyes, which I think you can tell they are not painted. They're done in a translucent red. Gives them a really, really cool look if you can get the light shining on it and everything. I love, love, love the way those eyes turned out. And you can see down down here at his mouth, he's got a little bit of painted mouth on the inside and painted teeth. Move down here to the chest, you can see his harness, which is done up in a deep purple, sort of like marbly leather, rough texture going on, with a little bit of black outline here on the front and clear translucent, more red here in the middle for the Webstor logo of the harness design, whatever that is. If we move to the back of the harness, you can of course see he's got his his spider leg tendril pieces, which look great, all around, done up in the same kind of deep purple as this harness piece here, and they've got a couple like joints and stuff, little molded sections here to make them look really, really creepy and everything, which I absolutely love. If you look at the arms, of course, we got all the typical muscle molding and the sort of creature arm, the spikes on top and the bottom. Hands, got open hand here on this side, molded in blue with all the individual fingers. The chest piece here, this is all the exact same as most of our Masterverse figures. Get his abs and his belly button there. Looking at the waist, we get the big, we haven't seen this yet in this wave, the big pelt piece with done up all in red with the big jewel in the middle. Nice molded detail all the way around it though. Back to the fur loincloth, so you can see sort of black with a little bit of green highlight wash going in there, which looks awesome. Legs have their muscle molded texture all the way through. Down to the legs, we get some nice looking shin piece armor pieces here with the deep blue, purple going on, and the silvery sort of sheen for the top part of the armor and right above the foot. And then he's got the sort of typical Masterverse creature foot there. So yeah, I mean, Webstor looks fantastic, as of course as all of the new Eternia stuff tends to look, and I absolutely love those eyes and everything up there. So where Webstor kind of really shines though is with his accessories. So as you can see, he does have his claw in his hand here, which is connected on a string through the backpack. So what you can do is you can take this backpack piece off, and on the inside there is a little bit of molded detail and everything going on there. And it's just connected on this little peg piece. You can put it there. You can get it threaded up through the top if you want to have him, you know, hanging up that way or whatever. Or you could just pull that out, put the arms, the spider arms, back on his back there if he stands, and then you've got the loose actual piece here on the string. What I really like about this claw is that the pieces are individually articulated, so you can open them all up to throw the claw, or to, you know, use it to hang on something, or close the claw to get that sort of look. But he does also come with the yellow traditional Webstor gun piece, which has this little handle hook piece on the back. So if you wanted, you could throw these two on here. You can get a lot of playability out of how you want this to look, and then you can just kind of throw the handle part into his hand there, and he can just hold it like that, which I think is kind of neat. The box also says that you can put the spider claws here, you can take them out of the backpack and put them on here as well on the sides if you want to give it that kind of look. Or what you can also do is on the yellow gun, there's a big peg sticking out here on the side. You can plug that into the side so that it can be on the side there, and it has a place to rest in the middle, so you can sort of give it the look of shooting the hook out there, you know, and just put this back in his hand so that he can have that sort of look, which is cool. And of course this little piece can go onto the back there if you want to give it a complete gun and all that stuff. You can kind of wrap if you don't want the cable around, you can find a way to wrap it, and there's a little bit of inset, so you have a little bit of room to wrap it around certain areas. But like if you want to wrap it up around here a couple wraps and then throw the claw piece in there, that way it looks a little cleaner, you can absolutely do that. So you can get really crazy with how you want to display your Webstor. I honestly probably will just stick with the claw going in through the back because it helps with the spider aesthetic a little bit more, which I really enjoy. But the gun honestly doesn't look bad either. And so for that, besides other accessories besides that, he does just have two other hand options. You can get a fist for the other side, or an open hand, so you can hold both handles details and everything. And like Clamp Champ, he is on the thicker peg system, so you can see how that works there. And yeah, I mean, Webstor, there it is with the accessories. So talk articulation here really fast. It is really standard, the same as all the other figures. Of course, you can get a little blocked by the armor piece here for the ab cut, but it's honestly really free movement with that there. But yeah, the head's on ball joint, goes all the way around, yada yada yada. Arms go all the way around. Here they swivel at the bicep. He's got the double elbow happening here. Mine's a little tight on this side, but it does go eventually. All the wrists swivel and hinge here. We talked about the ab cut, which gets it rock and rolling. Waist swivel, legs forward, back, split, swivel, double knee down here, tight on mine again, swivel here at the shin, and the feet also do pivot up and down and swivel all the way around. The hips are also on the new joint system, so they can pivot up and down just like that. The only other accessory or articulation piece that Webstor has that the others don't is the arms on the back. They're all on a peg system, so you can swivel them all the way around, and they can hinge sort of forward and back, so you can figure out how you want your arms to be positioned just like that. And I love those arms. Those things look really cool and gives him a great effect. So you kind of like can close them all in so they're wrapped tight to his body, or you can put, you know, one or two out. So really cool look with those going on there. So yeah, I mean, that's... Oh, let's do a couple... I almost forgot. Let's do a couple Webstor comparisons here. All right, here he is with your standard classics figure, so you can see how those two look together. Might fit into your classics collection if you want. Here he is with himself in Origins, so you can see how those two look together and how different they are. And for fun, with another Masterverse New Eternia creature, here he is with New Eternia Buzz-Off from Last Wave. Alright, now that is going to about do it for Masterverse Webstor, so let's go ahead and take a look at our final figure. Prince Adam, who honestly I think is my favorite of the wave. I really like how they handled Prince Adam here. So let's go ahead, take a closer look up here at this head sculpt. This is the one that he comes packaged with standard in box. He does have a second one that we will look at when we get to accessories. But yeah, you can see the hair looks nice, painted up all in yellow and molded to sort of fit around his head with the little curls down at the bottom. If you look at the eyes and the eyebrows, everything up there is painted. Looks very nice, and he's got, of course, his nice lips going on there. Why did I say it like that? I don't know. Move down here to the neck. The neck is painted piece, actually, that's molded, I think, in this white color, because that's how the rest of the figure is. So the skin color there doesn't really match on camera, at least. In person it matches, you know, well enough that you don't even notice it. But yeah, you can see under his tunic there he's got a little bit of molded muscle detail, but not a lot, because of course he's Prince Adam. And you can see his tunic here done in the sort of dark mahogany beigey color, and that's not beige at all, but it's that sort of dark red mahogany type color, and this sort of light pinkish color on the front here. Magenta maybe is the word I'm looking for, which the tunic itself looks really nice. Coming to the belt, he's got black all the way around with a gold buckle with a little bit of detail in it, gold pieces all the way around. The arms here are molded with sleeve style, so you can see it's all kind of wrinkly and everything, no muscle texture or whatnot going on there. But yes, he does have molded sleeves with the frills here on the front, and it is the same on both sides. The hands are done in the traditional, or not the traditional, but the regular skin color, the same as his face. And look down here at his legs. His pants are done up all in purple, and there's not a lot of molded detail or anything happening with these legs. They're pretty standard and pretty straightforward, solid. And the feet, the boots are new boots, and you can see the sort of cuff at the top with the little cutout on it. Looks great, done up all in brown. And the actual boots themselves are done up in a dark brown with black straps. So yes, Prince Adam looks absolutely tremendous. I love how this guy turned out. And part of the reason for that, of course, is the accessories. So we'll bring all his accessories in here. He does have a couple other hands, so they're just regular alternate hands, a fist, and another open hand if you want to give the sword on that side or whatever. And they're on the old style pegs, so they're a little smaller and a little easier to get in and out. And then he does also come with this alternate laughing head, which is so fun. I love this head. And of course the head is just on a ball joint, so you can pop this one off and pop that one on. And yeah, I mean, look at that. He's just a silly, goofy little guy. I love that. It's such a fun alternate head, and it fits Adam's personality very, very well. And you can see, we'll take a look here at it. Hair is the same, eyebrows are the same, the eyes are closed, just got a little black line painted through there. And now his mouth is open. You can see the inside of his mouth and his teeth painted in there, which is a lot of fun. But we're gonna go ahead and swap back to the standard head because we're going to talk about swords. So he does come with just the regular power sword. This is, I'm pretty sure, the same one that came with Revelations He-Man. No differences or anything. Silver up here on the actual blade part, brown down there on the handle. But he does also come with another sword, which is his stand up, Adam. His mid transformation sword, which looks great. It's the same mold as the other power sword, but it's molded in the sort of clear, cloudy, clear color with a bunch of glitter sparkles inside to sort of replicate the magic coursing through the sword. And I think this is a great accessory. I love the way this looks because you can get him really going with the mid transformation piece, you know, put the hand behind the sword where it goes. Yeah, I mean, look at that. He's transforming. Whoa, it's so cool. No, I actually really, really like that sword accessory. So yeah, that's going to be all of the accessories for Prince Adam. I love that he comes with so many because I'm so used to the Masterverse ones coming with a lot of accessories. And it feels like this wave has sort of slowed down on the accessories with the exception of Prince Adam and to an extent Webstor. But otherwise, they've just come with alternate hands and one weapon. I feel like we usually get a little bit more than that, but I could be wrong. Anyway, since Adam is slightly different with his articulation, we're going to go ahead and cover it all how he is. So, head up here, both heads obviously are on the ball joint. You can swivel them all the way around. You can look up that far, down that far, tilt side to side, all that nonsense. Arms swivel all the way around. They go up that far. They swivel at the bicep. There is a bicep cut right up there. Downside with Adam is he does only have single elbows, like a lot of the female characters in the Masterverse line. No double elbows, which is a slight disappointment, but I understand, I guess, because they're so thin. I wish he had doubles, but I can live with singles. He does have the ab cut in there. It is a little harder to sort of get a handle on because of the way the tunic sits, but it is in there and it can swivel. You can kind of see it if I open the chest up a little bit there. You can see that there is the crunch in there and it's working. And then he has also waist swivel going on here as well. So you can get the waist swivel access. Legs do go forward. They get blocked a little bit by the tunic and they go forward that far. They can go backwards that far. They go out this far, so Adam can go complete split. Very, very nice. And he is on the new system as well, so you can pivot those legs up and down, which is awesome. Just like that. And he got a swivel here at the thigh and a double knee if it wants to work with me. There we go, double knee, swivel at the shins, and the feet go woo all the way around. All of the wrists, I didn't mention the wrists yet, all of the wrists are swivel and hinge side to side with the exception of the open hand on this side. The hinge is the up and down hinge, so you can sort of replicate the pointing of the sword and the pointing straight up with the magical transformation sequences. So let's go ahead here and do some Prince Adam comparisons. All right, here's Adam with your standard classics figure. A little tall compared to your classics most likely, but there he is. Here's Masterverse Prince Adam with Origins Prince Adam, which was my first ever Origins figure actually, because I found him before I found any of the single carded figures. But yeah, I mean, I'll always prefer this style of Adam where he's visibly smaller and skinnier compared to He-Man rather than the one where it's just He-Man in different clothes. And speaking of He-Man, here is Prince Adam with Revelation He-Man, so you can see the difference between those two. Alright, we'll bring everybody back out here because that's going to do it for my closer look at Masterverse Wave 10. So let's go ahead and clamp our way back up to me for my final thoughts. Alright, so my final thoughts here on Masterverse Wave 10 is I think it's a pretty solid wave all around. We got some solid figures. Clamp Champ here. Nothing really crazy or anything going on with him. He's a pretty standard Masterverse figure with the exception of the Clamp, which I do think is a really cool piece. But I would love a new Eternia version where you get multiple different styles of clamps or something. And maybe clamps that are not on springs so they can stay open or closed, whichever way you want. The Horde Skeletor I wasn't initially super excited about just because I'm kind of iffy on the Revelation Skeletor mold, but this actually works very, very well between the colors and the improved articulation. Everything about this Skeletor rules, and plus the cape is really, really rad. So if you want a really cool looking Skeletor, definitely pick this guy up. And the Webstor here, he is a great addition to the new Eternia line. I love the tendrils on the back with all of the sort of different posability options that you can use with the gun and the grapple accessory. He came out really, really solid. I can't wait to put him with all the other weird Masterverse creatures from New Eternia. And Prince Adam is a real joy. I love, love, love what they did with Prince Adam. He looks great. He's so fun to pose. He comes with a lot of great accessories, including the sword and the laughing head. I think you definitely should grab Prince Adam if you're going to get any out of this wave, unless you're getting just the new Eternia stuff, obviously. But yeah, Prince Adam is a whole lot of fun. I love this guy. Alright guys, well that is going to do it for my full review of the Masters of the Universe Masterverse Wave 10. Go ahead and let me know your thoughts on Masterverse Wave 10 in the comments below. Which of these figures do you plan on picking up? Which of them are you skipping? Are you getting the whole wave? All that stuff. Let's talk all things Masterverse in the comments down below. Guys, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you so much. I do really appreciate everybody who makes it all the way to the end. And that brings us, unfortunately, to the end of another episode of Decepticon 9 Reviews, but don't worry, I'll be back soon, I promise, guys. Don't you worry your pretty little heads. Guys, as always, I've been your host, Decepticon 9. Thank you, as always, for watching another video, and I will catch you guys later.